Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm here to do our sinking funds for the month of April. I did my April budget yesterday, so if you want to check that out and get a whole breakdown of everything, make sure to go do that. I still have to trim this down a little bit because I am running out of room in this small deluxe monthly. So I want to go ahead and set this up, and I am using my my kits for April. So I have my cute washi here, I have my sinking fund, and my transaction log. I have been doing this method probably since January, and I have been loving setting it up this way. I just feel like it works really well with how I like to budget. So we're gonna go ahead and set everything up. As always, because I am setting this up before April has even started and before March has ended, obviously, I do not have my beginning balances for sinking funds, but I do share all of that information. If you want to check out my weekly check-ins, I always do a little update there where I talk about you know, what we've used out of our sinking funds and all of that fun stuff. I personally, in the very beginning when I was figuring out sinking funds, I wanted to know how people dealt with certain things and how people tracked it and everything. So I try and include that as part of my weekly check-in so that everybody gets a good idea of how it actually works. I know you guys see me set things up, but what does it actually mean? How do I, you know, actually go about using them? All of that fun stuff. So we're gonna jump right in. I'm gonna do the categories first, and then we will put in what we are adding. This month we are adding $1,778, so a lot of money, and I'll talk a little bit about everything as we're going through. So the first category that we have here is beauty, and beauty is basically my face wash and makeup. I don't spend a ton of money on makeup. I'm pretty simple with that type of stuff, but I do have a little bit more of an expensive brand of face wash, and I've been using that forever. So I do like to kind of stick with that. I did have really bad skin in high school and in college, so I try my best to keep up with it and keep my skin clean as much as I can. So we have car insurance. That has been the same forever. Car maintenance, which we will be adding to car maintenance. I believe my car will need an oil change, and I think going forward we're going to keep adding money to it, just so that we have some money saved away there. We have my car tags, which I believe, is it my car or Jason's car? I think Jason's car will need car tags in April, so you'll see some money coming out at some point. We have our cell phone, which might be confusing. Basically, and I've said this 100 times before, but basically we have a family plan with Jason's family. So instead of paying her every month, we just pay her every 6 months or every year. And so I like to put the money away for that. Next we have Christmas, and I'm going to put Christmas / gifts because this is going to include birthday gifts and everything like that. Then we have clothes, and I like to put separate categories. So we have Jason, Macy, and then mine. And if you were running out of room, you could totally include these, like have one separate just for the kids, have one separate for the parents. I like doing them separate for all of us, just so that one of us isn't consuming all of it. That would be super easy to do. Then we have diapers. Macy, I've talked about this 100 times before, but we are definitely in the process of potty training. It's just a process, so we're getting there. But diapers also includes like undies and stuff like that. Wipes, things that I feel like we will never be done paying for. Entertainment, which that includes, and I've talked about this again 100 times before, but entertainment for us includes 3 main things. It includes fun stuff that we do as a family. So if we go to the movies, if we go to a bounce house, if we you know, ride the train in the mall. That's included. It's also including mine and Jason's date night, so if we want to go somewhere nice, or if we do something with friends. So if we go to lunch with a friend, you know, with a friend of Macy's, with friends of ours, anything like that, that's included in entertainment. And that category for us is just like another place to have something set aside so that if we wanted to do something, we don't have to necessarily say no just because we already used our allotted cash from our like eating out budget. I really like having that category. I think it's important for us. So again, you just make, you know, you just figure out what works best for you, and that works pretty well for us. We have family pictures, so we need to figure that out at some point, but for now we're just adding money to it. The new category here is golf, and golf is going to be for Jason. Jason loves golfing. He's actually really good at it, even though if you asked him, he probably would say he's not. But he really likes going golfing, especially during the spring and summer. For a while last summer, he was going, it felt like almost every weekend. So we're putting away some money so that by the time it's golf season, he will be able to go. I'm hoping, especially as soon as I'm done with the CPA, that he's able to go a little bit more. Next is Go Wild, and this is Go Wild, but I also include like other conferences that I may go to for like planning or for YouTube or anything like that. For right now, it's just Go Wild, but it could include anything else. Then we do have home maintenance, and this is another thing that will be changing this month. We are adding money to that. We are going to be adding money for some like outdoor maintenance type stuff, and I'll talk about that when I'm adding the amounts. Then we do have Jason's medication. This category may change. They did switch him to a new medication, I think in January, and ever since he's been getting the new medication, it seems like it's a little bit less money. So I don't know if we need to be putting away as much, or if he's just met some out of pocket or something. I need to look into it a little bit more, but that is one of our categories. And then we do have medical expenses. That's for all of us. We do have pool passes, and I think we have until sometime in April to buy our pool passes at a discounted rate. So we're definitely gonna do that. We have tolls. Tolls in Illinois are just something that, you know, you have an I-Pass for when you're driving on the highway. Every so often you have to pay a little bit. So we do have an I-Pass, and it's an automatic thing, so I just like to put a little bit of money away so that it's not like something that's unbudgeted. We do have our trash. This is one of those utilities that I think trash is every 3 months, and then you'll see water in a second is every 2 months. We do have our vacation fund, which we used quite a bit this past month. So we just put a little bit away every month so that we can go do fun vacations. And then we do have our water. So those are all of our sinking funds. I'm gonna go ahead and set down my total strip now that I know where we are in terms of space. And we can draw our lines and add our amounts in, and then we'll be all set. Like I said, at the very end of March, and I'm gonna move this over. At the very end of March, I will total everything up. I will settle our sinking funds, and at that point I will add in the beginning balance. I love having sinking funds, and I've talked about this in a different video, but I was pretty skeptical when it came to sinking funds because I didn't like the fact that you really didn't know the amounts a lot of the times. You didn't know when things would come due, and now I'm like the complete opposite. I'm like, oh, you know, we could make a sinking fund for that. And Jason even asked me when we were talking about budgeting stuff earlier, he was asking if we could do a golf category. So it's funny how like we're both like completely different about it. I love the idea of doing sinking funds and adding it and taking them away and just making them work for what you need, you and your family. I think it's super important. So let me just draw my little lines in, and then we can add in the amounts and be all good to go. Okay, so we have all the lines there. We can go ahead and add in the amount. So for beauty, I'm adding in $30. Oh no, darn it. I'm gonna have to wait that out. For beauty, I'm adding in $30. For car insurance, we add in $175. That's been pretty consistent. I know we have a little bit of extra going into it because we did just pay it in February, but we are thinking that we're probably gonna need a little bit more for some things that are coming up. So we're gonna leave that in. For car maintenance, we have $50 going in there. For our car tags, $17. Cell phone is $50. And Christmas and gifts, we're adding $50 as well. Clothes for Jason and me, we're going to do $20 each, and Macy's is going to be $50. And then for diapers, again, $20. Entertainment is going to be $100. That has been pretty good with what we've been doing lately. And then family pictures is going to be $17. Golf is $50, and we might adjust this going forward. I'm not sure exactly how much we'll need. It just kind of depends on how much it is and how often Jason decides to go. Go Wild, I've been doing $250, and I think that's pretty good. I still have not bought my flights yet for Go Wild. I should probably do that sometime soon, but for now, we're adding $250. And then for home maintenance, like I said, we're gonna be doing some like outdoor stuff. Jason has to put down fertilizer, weed killer, and all of that stuff. So that's gonna be $300 for this month. For Jason's medication, we've been doing $38. And that might, again, need to be adjusted. Medical, I'm adding $250. Again, we're just trying to get to the point where we have a decent amount set aside for that. Pool passes are $15 per month. And like I said, I think we're going to be using this fund this upcoming month. Tolls, I like to put away $20 for that. Trash is $26 every month. Vacation, we were doing $185, but I'm going to increase it to $200. I know that we might be doing another vacation sometime during the summer, so I want to make sure we have enough if we plan to do that. And then water is another category that we have had a little bit of an extra balance in there. So I'm adding $30 now just to, you know, add a little bit, but I don't think we need a ton in there. So that comes out to be a total of $1,778. And those are our sinking funds for April. So the other thing that I need to do is just go ahead and put down my transaction log. This is where I am keeping track of anything that comes out of our sinking funds. I love having this set aside so I can track everything and just know where the money is going. In the past, I've had these two on the same sheet, and it's just not possible anymore. So this works out. And again, I talked about this in my budget video, but I'm running out of space, so I may need the larger version at some point. Maybe when the new ones come out sometime in July. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put in the little header that tracks everything. The main things I like to keep track of are, you know, obviously the amount, the category, and then I like to just put a small description in so I know exactly what we're spending money for. Amount, category, and description. And we're all set to go. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys have any questions for me, leave them down below. And other than that, make sure to check out my my kits if you want to pick some up for April. I will also have kits up for May pretty soon. And Macy's Macy's slime is still on my desk. So anyway, thank you guys again so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye guys.